she can be physically aggressive. The therapist quit because Jessica was threatening her. We would be able to keep the caregiver between 1.5 to 2 years. They just kind of got burned out. This is something we've been working on forever. Jessica cannot be independent with her shower still. Hey everybody, it's Val. I'm Jess's mom, Hannah's mom, Madison's mom from Autistic Interpretations, and I'm here with another Q&A. Today's Q&A is going to be about teaching independent living skills. Recently, I was trying to put my thoughts together about this to explain to someone. and found myself feeling agitated. I realized that I've never really made a video. I may have written a blog post about this a while back, but about how complex it is to teach independent living skills, teach chores, integrate that into your daily life with the factors that Jessica has, such as being blind, being autistic, and having fine and gross motor impairment. So obviously, I would know that it's not a novel concept that people should carry their weight around the house. They should do the chores that they're capable of and contribute to the family, etc. And it's not a new idea to me to teach Jessica these things. Over her 30 plus years, we have worked on various aspects of skills and chores, that kind of thing. But it is so not simple that it's hard for me to even explain it in a way. I feel like I can't be adequate with my explanation. But I said to Hannah, if this is something that I struggle with and outside perception is what it is, I know there are so many other families in a similar situation where they can't really explain why some family members don't contribute as much as outsiders feel like they should, or something like that. Some of the factors include family size, birth order, 1 or 2 parent household, 1 or 2 parent careers and income, and mental health. Mental health is a big one. I mean, that's a big factor. As with all other videos, I'm going to address this from my own personal standpoint and what I've experienced, because I cannot speak for others. I'm going to try to explain it or talk about it in order of my own life. So Jessica, in birth order, is the oldest. I had Jessica when I was 18, and then I had my next one when I was 22, and next one when I was 24. So I had all 3 kids by the time I was 24. Jessica, even though she was 4 when the middle child came along, she wasn't functioning as a 4-year-old, and she wasn't capable like a typical 4-year-old. She had serious issues. She had communication issues, there's fine motor issues. They're just all this stuff. And there's this therapy and that therapy. And these things are what you're working on constantly, or all these therapy things when you're 4, 5, 6, and on, while I'm raising other babies at the same time and focusing on their needs. They might have had some issues that made them more complex, like serious allergies, serious respiratory issues, serious digestive issues. There's all that in play. At the time, we were a 2-parent household with 1 income. But I did the best I could with all that all the time. I always did the best I could. There comes this point in every day, every week, every month, whatever, where you get overwhelmed. You, as a parent or as a caregiver, you're saturated, you're stretched thin, and there are so many hours in the day. There's so much you can do. And then that's it. And you move on to the next day and you start all over and you do it again. With Jessica, it's not her vision that prevents her from doing many chores. Blind people, visually impaired people can do chores, obviously. They can cook, they can clean, they can vacuum, they can do their laundry. But Jessica's not just blind. She doesn't have just that disability. And Jessica's attention span has always been severely limited. So over time, when you have all these multiple issues, and the kids are growing up, and time passes so quickly, and everybody's busy doing one thing or another thing. And as a mother, as a woman, I was a homemaker. That was my career as my children were growing up. And I mean, it's a tough job. It's a consuming role, and I did the best I could. So when she was still in school, especially in high school, they start working on daily living skills, home, like independent living skills. She even had, in her last year or two, a therapist that the school contracted with to come, and they would work in the living skills area at school on dishwashing and preparing food and that kind of stuff. She worked on those things at school. And this same therapist carried it over into her home to teach her in her home environment. But guess what? That didn't all work out. Because when you push Jess and she's getting frustrated and whatever, she can be physically aggressive. She can verbalize threats, and she does both of those things. And so the therapist quit because Jessica was threatening her and probably did hit her. Did we learn some things from the therapist? Sure. We learned some things, and I still apply them when Jessica's helping me in the kitchen, like with dishes and stuff. Move on to when I am a single parent household, and Jess is older, more mature. The other kids aren't having to, I'm not having to be as busy with them as I was when they were little. Do I have more time to work with Jess on stuff? Sort of, but no. Me as an individual trying to provide for my household, and that takes up, so much time and energy that is so consuming to take care of my house and have a job and take care of Jess. When we got the waiver and I was able to hire caregivers, we run into this issue with, if you ask the caregivers to teach her certain things and Jess feels intimidated, threatened, pushed, stressed, or whatever, she will strike out. She will be verbally aggressive. She can be physically aggressive. And it was kind of a pattern that we would be able to keep the caregiver between 1.5 to 2 years, and then they would be done. They just, kind of got burned out. Since Marlo started working with us, Marlo has been working with Jess on some things. The biggest thing is her daily shower. This is something we've been working on forever, just being independent with her shower. But the fact is, Jessica cannot be independent with her shower still. At age 33, she requires constant verbal cues to take her shower, and she requires hands-on assistance to put soap on her washcloth, to put shampoo in her hair, and to wash her hair. Jessica, with verbal prompts, can wash her body. So if you'll take that for a minute, compare what it takes to help Jess take a shower with what it would take to teach Jess to do chores independently. It might give you an idea. Taking a shower is something that most of us take for granted. Just like you turn on the water, you get in, you take a shower, bath, whatever, you get out. For 30 years, Jessica has been I've been working with her, teaching her how to do this, and she still hasn't accomplished it yet. And might she one day? Yeah, I hope so. But that's an example of, that's a daily living skill that she requires help with still to this day. She can get frustrated with that sometimes because she likes to be in her own universe when she's in the water. And she doesn't want to be interrupted with her, she's self-talking the whole time and she doesn't want to be interrupted. And you have to keep saying, Jessica, 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 and get her attention. There are a few other things that I've had Marlo work with Jessica on, but truthfully, since we hired Marlo, one of my main goals is to keep Marlo. This process of turnover with caregivers is tough. And we've been very cautious and careful with what we've had Marlo push Jess on and not push Jess on, because it can create such strife. And it is a difficult job. I think people watch our videos and Jess is adorable. She's cute. She's funny. She's pleasant. It's also a difficult job to care for Jessica as a caregiver day in and day out. It just is. It's hard to explain, but it just really is. My point is, we've been very careful with what I've asked Marlo to work with Jessica on occasionally. They work on stuff, but we've never been really firmly, strictly, okay, you need to work with Jessica on this every day, or you need to teach Jessica this, or you need to, whatever. So my time away, I went on a 6-day vacation. Jessica did great without me. It's the first time she's done this well with me being gone. She was here with Marlo and Hannah, and they had a big time. While I was away on my trip, I was able to take care of me, just me. I didn't have to do for anybody else. And it was a nice break. It was a very nice reprieve. I was glad to come home, very much looking forward to come home. I come home and pretty quickly by the end of the day, I'm exhausted and, I'm fixing Jessica's bed because the covers were all messed up and the blanket was messed up. And, I checked with Jessica about some other things about her day. And, I just decided, okay, it's time to try again. It's time to try again to work on independent living skills in a somewhat organized manner. I told Jessica we're going to create a chore chart, which is actually going to be more of a to-do list every day. It is not going to be a strict learn to do this chore independently kind of list. This will be a list that Jessica and Marlo will work on together. Some of it Jessica can help with. Some of it Marlo will be teaching Jessica. And some of it Marlo will observe and give verbal guidance to Jessica. As always, we will tread lightly and carefully. I'd like to give you an example of something that's going to be on this chore chart. Okay? One of the items on the chore chart is for Jessica to remember to put on deodorant. Okay? She has deodorant. It's in her room. She knows where it is. And does she put it on? Almost never without somebody prompting her or reminding her to put on her deodorant. So it's these little things. It's not like suddenly Jessica's going to be able to vacuum her whole room by herself, or clean her toilet, or clean her sink or vanity. I am not talking about those kind of things. I'm talking about these simple activities of daily living that we all remember to do most of the time. Sometimes I think some of us forget deodorant, but it's these things that we all take for granted that she needs a prompt almost every day to get it done. In terms of contributing to the family, Jessica contributes to the family in her own way. She contributes to the household in her own way. And she knows how to sort of put her dishes in the sink or in the dishwasher. I have to rearrange them because they don't go in in a way that would work, but she doesn't know that. I let her put it in there, and then I fix it. She helps with food sometimes. She helps with the grocery shopping sometimes, but it's our own version of helping with the household. When you watch our videos, and please remember that you see mere minutes of our day, it is easy to lose track of Jessica's disabilities. If you haven't seen our video about Jessica's multiple disabilities, go find our playlist, the Q&A playlist. It's on there. And I explain all of Jessica's disabilities. She has a lot of disabilities, and together it's extremely challenging. If you know somebody that has a special needs person in their life and you think that they're spoiling them, or they aren't teaching them enough or making them do enough, please rethink it. Please realize that you do not live in someone else's home. You don't know what they go through, how hard they try, what all their obstacles are. When I was working as a nurse at the hospital, I worked 12-hour shifts on a cardiac telemetry unit. I worked 3 days a week. Every now and then I had to work 4 days a week, and it was just utterly, completely exhausting. I had to rest. In my time off, I had to rest. Over the last few years, as I've transitioned from being an independent contractor working for someone else to making videos and creating content, it has been an around-the-clock job. It is a job for me. I make videos, edit videos, I reply to comments, I interact with people. We have a supporter group that we interact with. It is a full-time job. There's a lot I could do if I wasn't working. If I didn't have to work, if I didn't have to pay for my house, put food on the table and all that, there's a lot more time I would have that I could devote to things like teaching Jess more things. But that's just not the way it always works. So I'm just, my main point is, I encourage you to not judge other people that you may know, that you feel like they're spoiling their kids or not doing enough, teaching them to do enough for themselves. And there's so much. Unless you lived here, you just wouldn't know. Unless you lived with your friend or your family member, you just don't know. We've been with Marlo now a year and a half. Jessica and Marlo have bonded well. I think we're at a place where they could work on things a little bit more, but we'll play it by ear and see how it goes. But it's complex. There's so much more to it. Is Jessica spoiled? Yes, she is. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Can she and her team be more independent from me? Yes. And that is my goal as a mom, is to be able to back off and let Jessica and her caregivers do all the things that otherwise I would have to do at the end of the day, the middle of the day, the off day, whatever day. Jessica's an adult. She wants to be independent. So my goal is for her to be as independent as possible with her caregiver. Most of these chores, most of the things we think of as chores, most likely Jess will never be able to do independently. Maybe some, but most of them not. Most of them require either supervision, verbal prompts, or hands-on assistance. And however all that plays out, I want to be able to give somebody a list and say, here are the things that Jessica's responsible for. If she can't do them, help her do them, or show her how to do them, work on it. And I can become a little bit more of my own individual self. If you're still listening, to me ramble. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your interest. Thank you for taking what you may have learned here and applying it in your life and your family or friends or whoever. Please let me know if you have questions or comments. Comment in the section below, and I will answer as many comments as I can. If you're new to our channel and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. If our videos help you out, or they lift your spirits or whatever. And also, if you've subscribed, click the bell icon. It'll notify you every time we post a new video, so that way you won't miss any. And if you know somebody that might enjoy our channel, spread the word. Just, let people know. And if you have any ideas of a Q&A that you would like for me to do, put it in the comments below. Thanks, everybody. Bye.